Oh, hi, how you doing? Today, we're going to talk about Arnett and his emerging adulthood. So our big question today is, describe Arnett's emerging adulthood, A-R-N-E-T-T, Arnett. Okay, he's the guy we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how an adult emerges into adulthood, right? So some people want to say that the age of 18 to 25, that time segment is your most important time segment, okay? That is to say, it's during that time you do the most decisive things in your life that you will ever do. Okay. Other people want to say no. Okay, age 1 to 6. Once upon a time, we used to say age 1 to 6. Those are the most important years. The early Christian missionaries used to say that if you give me somebody between the age of 1 and 6 and let me convert him, I'll make him a Christian for the rest of his life. Right? Those, they felt, were the most important years, age 1 to 6. That's what many people used to say. So, and you get that feeling sometimes when you look to Freud, and when he talks about those early stages of development, right? Okay, Erickson also talks about those early stages of development. You go, wow, is that the most decisive time? Some people want to say, no, it's age 6 through 12, okay, your elementary years. That's when you find out what you're good at, what your competence is. Okay, there's a thin connection, or a slight connection, between what you're good at as a 6-year-old and what you do as an adult. Sometimes the talents that we have as adults come out when we're 6. So some people used to say, wow, 6 to 12, those are your most important years. Is it 1 to 6? Some people said yes. Is it 6 to 12? Some people said yes. Other people said no, 12 to 18. It's during high school that we have these pains and sufferings and sometimes victories that stay with us for the rest of our life. Okay, you've probably seen the football star who wants to be a football star forever. That's when he was the great hero. He kind of likes that. So he wants to stay in that 12 to 18 time span, right? Okay, so some people used to say, wow, maybe 12 to 18, maybe these are the most important years. Is it 1 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 to 18, or 18 to 25, okay? Some people want to say 18 to 25. You be the judge, you're the boss here, right? 18 to 25, those are the years that we call emerging adulthood. What do they look like? What do those years look like? Okay, I always call it the OASIS model, O-A-S-I-S. So again, we're answering the question, what did Arnett say about emerging adulthood? Okay, he wants to say this, okay, this time right here, O, is the most optimistic time in your entire life. This is the time when you're as optimistic as you will ever be. Okay, you're out of high school, you say, hey, I want to start my life right now, I believe I can do it. That's what optimism is, the belief that you can get it done. Okay, I'm 18, I'm full of energy, I want to get out of high school, I hate gym class, I hate Spanish class, I hate biology class, I want to make my own life. Okay, and you're very optimistic about the feeling that you can do that. Okay, intense optimism. That's one big characteristic of somebody in their 20s. And if you've spoken to somebody who's 20, like when you talk to yourself, you go, wow, okay, I would really like to take on a lot of challenges right now. That's oftentimes why you say you're as stressed as you are, because you feel that you can take on all these challenges, and maybe we bit off more than we can chew, right? That's the source of our stress sometimes, right? Okay, optimism. Okay, A, adultolescence, A-D-U-L-T-O-S-C-E-N-C-E, adultolescence, right? Okay, adult privilege, adolescent responsibility. It's during this time right here that although you are chronologically an adult, although you're adult because you're 18, okay, you have many of the same challenges you did when you were in high school. Adult privilege, adolescent responsibility. That's adultolescence. Adult privilege, adolescent responsibility. So chronologically, I'm an adult. But remember I said that when I was in high school, I hated Spanish class? Well, guess what I'm doing right now? I'm taking Spanish, right? Because I'm in college right now. They say, wow, I will never take a biology class again. Then you wind up in college, there you are in biology again, right? So you're doing the same thing. You go, hey, wait a minute, this is like my adolescence, right? I don't want to be here, right? Well, there you are if you're in college. So again, you have adult privilege, adolescent responsibility. So when you're an adolescent, it was your responsibility to do your 5-page biology paper. Now that you're an adult, it's your responsibility to do a 5-page biology paper. You go, I've seen this movie before and it was really boring and I don't like it, okay? But again, that's one fact of adultolescence, okay, is that although you are an adult chronologically, you are still bogged down in your teenage responsibilities. You come home from class and your mom or dad ask you to take out the garbage. You go, wow, that's what I did when I was 14, but now I'm 18, okay? I'm doing the same things. what's going on here? That's adultolescence. Adult privilege, adolescent responsibility. Okay. Then S is self-focus. Notice that you're thinking about yourself a lot. So when your parents ask you to take out the garbage, much of that garbage is garbage that you yourself have produced, right? So they're simply asking you to do your part, okay, but you don't want to because you're saying, hey, okay, I'm an adult right now. I have better things to think about. I've got my career to plan here, and you're telling me to take out old chicken bones. Excuse me? Okay, so you're going to come off as somewhat selfish then. It's, again, a time of self-focus. So if ever you've spoken to anybody who had a roommate during that time, what is the big argument that roommates have? Why do roommates have their fallings out? Because he or she is not cleaning up dishes, right? He or she is not taking out the garbage, right? Okay, so you feel that this other person is very selfish. Okay, that's the problem that roommates will have when they room together age 18 to 25. Hey, you're selfish, right? Because the more selfish you are, the less selfish I can be. I'm supposed to be the selfish one here. I'm supposed to be the one leaving the mess. Okay, what do you mean I have to clean up your mess? Okay, you have to clean up my mess, right? Okay, so you tend to be very self-focused. Talk to people who have roommates. If you have a roommate yourself, you know what I'm talking about. It's very difficult for two 18-year-olds to live together as roommates because both of them are very self-focused. Okay? You are very selfish during this time, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean in a very good way. You're trying to make a life for yourself, and so naturally you're asking yourself often, what do I want out of this, right? Well, that's a very healthy question, but it does force you inward into a self-focus, right? So when your mom yells at you, what is she saying? You're so selfish, you only think about yourself, right? Okay, think about that. But again, okay, just remember, in a way, that's what you kind of have to do. That's what your major task right now in life. A little bit of self-focus, right? Okay, instability. Okay, your choices tend to be a little bit unstable. So people who may marry age 18 to 25 oftentimes suffer divorce. Okay, why? Because somebody that you find very appealing when you're 18, you know, the motorcycle chick, maybe she's not that exciting when you're 25, because that's the time in life when you develop those hemorrhoids. So if you're riding around with the biker chick all the time on the back of a motorcycle, it's very painful when you're 25. Somebody who's appealing when you're 18 is not so appealing when you're 25. Maybe the guerrilla revolutionary who hides in the jungle and overthrows evil governments is exciting when you're 18. But when you're 20, you want a nice soft bed, and you would like three meals a day. You don't want to marry the revolutionary. Okay, so we make these choices when we're 18 to 25, okay, and would like to change them, right? Okay, so you go, gee, I think I would like to go major in business. Yeah, I know, when I get out of high school, I'll go major in business. And then all of a sudden somebody gives you a statistics class and you go, is there a major that doesn't have like statistics? Okay, just a lot of instability. Okay, we oftentimes make these decisions, swear by them, okay, but then have to change, right? So how many trees have you heard? You know, when you write the initials of your girlfriend or boyfriend in the tree, you know, that big heart, okay, right, and then you put the initials there, okay, 2 weeks later you break up, how do you think the tree feels? Okay, you leave behind a lot of wreckage, is what I'm saying, because you're so self-focused. Okay, that's what he's saying, basically, and he's correct. Okay, intense self-focus, intense instability. Okay, I made a decision 1 week and I change it the next then, right? The tree has to live with your decision. You don't have to live with that decision. Okay, so instability. Okay, also significant change. That is to say, okay, it's during this time right here that you change in many, many very big ways. So again, when you're 18, as I mentioned before, you can vote. Okay, when you're 21, you can drink. Okay, you can buy weapons, right? So on one typical day, you might go vote, then go buy some weapons and buy some alcohol. You're an adult. You can do that now. That is a very, very big change then. That's a very big change then, right? So again, he wants to say it's during this time you have a lot of significant change, right? Okay, and in my opinion, that's why he's really, really good for us to consider, because when you go into college, you're 18 to 25, you should be asking a lot of these questions of yourself then. And so he invites you to do that. In my opinion, that's the benefit of his thinking, and I hope you consider it. So just to summarize here, what is Arnett saying? Arnett is saying emerging adulthood characterized by, again, the OASIS model, okay, optimism, adultolescence, self-focus, instability, significant change. And now you'd probably like to change and do something else. So I'm going to give you the opportunity right now to go and change your life in some ways that you would prefer. I invite you to, I exhort you to. Have a good day, and thank you. I know.